Welcome to Therapists Say, the podcast where we talk about real life, real feelings, and the stuff everyone's dealing with, but no one really explains. We're here to make mental health make sense, keep things honest, and remind you that you're not the only one trying to figure it all out. Therapists Say is brought to you by Full Circle Therapy and Inner Wellness Therapeutic Services. Let's get into today's episode. And welcome back to another episode of Therapists Say. I'm your host, Mel.
I'm your other host, Liz.
Barry.
I'm Sabrina.
And we have a special guest, Sabrina. Sabrina, that we talk about so much.
On
here.
the podcast we do.
Yeah, but don't get your hopes up. It doesn't really mean
So we're having guests
on the podcast.
Right.
The stars just kind of aligned today, and this is what's happening.
She's here against her will.
We peer pressured her into it.
Yep. We have shrink wrap. Do you
Just
have
gonna
shrink
go
wrap?
straight into it?
Well, it'll be incorporated into our
Okay.
shrink wrap.
I
that
have
Sabrina's
a lot
here.
of shrink wrap. I have a decent amount of shrink wrap.
Oh,
yes.
God.
I don't know.
You have a lot too, though, no?
I mean, I don't know if I want to say a lot.
Okay. All right. So back to when we were talking about what makes a people pleaser,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
That was like 2 episodes ago. Someone said we should have had Catholic guilt as an option.
Mm.
Like we had Hispanic.
Guilt.
Yeah, I don't know what we called that. And then for the last episode, I realized when I was explaining psychosis, I left out all the negative symptoms, like not speaking and not moving and so forth.
Mm.
So my bad.
I think
So
you did mention.
I mentioned
catatonia.
catatonia,
Yeah.
but I didn't mention like no motivate, like loss of volition, they call it, where they don't want to do anything. I didn't put when they don't speak, poverty of speech, like that's a symptom. Those are negative symptoms that I didn't include. And then that woman versus Casey Anthony. So I had some. I
have some of that too.
Yeah. So I think
Lindsay
I'll come
Clancy versus Casey Anthony. Like
The
Okay.
differences.
Right. So I
We'll
just
get
have
there.
a bullet point about that. One of my friends said, if a male had done it, if a male had killed all his kids, would we even be having this conversation?
I have a point about that.
And then the only other thing I have, it wasn't that many. The votes of Liz's question, does true crime coverage distort our perception of mental illness? It was 82% of the respondents said yes, and 18% said no.
Okay, so I had from the last episode, how do we know if you're an evil bitch or mentally ill?
Yeah, that is almost exactly what I have as a bullet point. I have, do we see people as evil or mentally ill?
And then I wrote, how does one become an evil bitch? Issue with Casey Anthony was she wasn't taking accountability. And then we're going to circle back. But another part of it is, why are people so desperate to blame the husband in the Lindsay Clancy case? Why does it feel easier to believe that he was secretly a sociopath than to accept that a mother could experience severe psychotic break and do something unimaginable? And then I also have, is it because accepting postpartum psychosis forces us to confront something terrifying? That a loving mother can become profoundly disconnected from reality? Instead, we look for a villain, someone who must have caused it, and someone who makes the story sound easier to understand. What else? What does that say about the stigma that still surrounds severe mental illness, especially when it happens to mothers? And then I said, society sucks.
Yeah.
Those were my thoughts.
That was a lot. I'm like,
take what you want from it.
I mean, the thing I'm glad you brought up was I did get several respondents saying it was the husband.
Yeah.
And it makes
And
me
I was
so
like,
mad. Like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I know nothing about this
We
case,
know a lot.
but that came out of the blue to me. I was like, peripartum depression. She murdered her 3 kids. She admits doing it. Well, how's the husband involved?
Like, why are we saying that he drugged her? People are literally, and that's why I brought up my question when I did last week, because that's when I was like, people need to stop reading Frida McFadden books. That it's like this.
She's going to sue us.
Probably.
You keep saying it
I
every
know.
podcast. You're like,
If
stop reading her
Frida
books. Stop reading her books.
McFadden is listening to our podcast, like, success.
Sue me.
Sue me, Frida.
Well,
Come at
because
me.
like that's literally like the plots of her books. They're so like twisted and crazy, and I love them. I've
That's
read,
what makes a good book.
but that's what I'm saying. That like this isn't one of Frida's books. Like this was real life. This was a mother who was suffering from postpartum depression, like or not postpartum.
Yeah.
But peripartum depression and anxiety, and someone who suffered from anxiety her whole life, because we've been watching the case. Depression and anxiety was not new to her. Like, you know, like she was trying and struggling and whatever the case might be. Like, no, the husband didn't drug her and push her out the window.
Well, I think that's how true crime distorts our perception, is we're like, no, like we watch too much Dateline and we're like, no, it has to be the husband. It has to be. We all
He
think we're
framed her,
detectives,
yeah.
and we're looking at the evidence in a light that we're like, no, we know the true story.
Right. He's getting away with it.
I guess my issue is people have been reading novels like this forever, right?
Mhm.
And that makes you look like, when I watch a movie, I'm like, it's probably not the most obvious person. Like I don't remember who, somebody recommended like this short, like one season, and
yeah, like a mini series.
It looked like the husband did it. And I was like, it couldn't have been the husband, because then it wouldn't be a good show, right? Like it has to be someone else, but it was the husband. And I was pissed. That was obvious from the beginning.
Statistically, though, it is.
It wasn't, the husband didn't murder his wife. In this show, I don't remember what it was called. He murdered like another woman, but it was
I know
her.
what show you're talking about, the HBO one.
Yeah, it was like an HBO, like 8 episode. Was Pierce Bronson in it?
No,
No,
it was Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Yeah, it was Hugh Grant, and it was
what
so
show was
obvious.
it?
Spoiler alert.
Huh?
The one with the dishwasher that he put the murder weapon in the dishwasher.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
He ran
really good.
it, and then they buried, like,
I mean,
the
we
kid
just spoiled
buried it
for
or something.
everybody.
Good. It wasn't that good.
It sucked.
It wasn't that good. Like, if I spoiled it for you, you're lucky.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome. I did you a
Thank
favor.
you. Yes.
I think that they want to blame the husband because he was also the parent and he was just gone. That's like involuntarily manslaughter. What is it like? She was in the hospital and he's skiing. Like,
Yes.
what's the law that, like, if you know that your spouse is abusing your children, I'm not saying he was doing that, but then you don't do anything, they get taken away from you as well because you failed to protect them.
Negligence.
Right.
Mhm.
This is that. Like,
Mhm.
all this.
Wait, where were the kids then when he was skiing? I don't know.
He took one of them. Didn't he take the little girl skiing or something?
I think he took one. But it wasn't just that. It was like he's out to brunch. He goes to New York, which we now know it's like to be with his
Yeah.
wife.
I believe
Allegedly.
His
for
what?
sure he was cheating on her.
I don't
that
know any
hasn't
of
come
this.
out.
There's
but
like pictures of him in New York when he was on work trips.
Cheating?
No, like at a workout class with who is now his wife.
Right.
Oh, he married someone else since
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And had
And
Oh,
had a
I
baby.
don't know any of
And
this.
had a
I don't.
and
Do you
was-
guys not know me? I don't pay attention to this stuff.
Was in Costa Rica with her 3 days after all this happened. Like, okay, so he's a horrible
Well, that's why people
partner
are blaming
and
him,
father.
too.
And yeah, I think it's like, what's his responsibility? Like,
Mhm.
why is it all on her? Yeah. So I think he's at least liable for that. Negligence.
He was definitely checked out. She had been sick for a while. She murdered the kids in January, and they're saying like September was really when like things started to go downhill, that she got really sick and she was in and out of the hospital, getting herself voluntarily Baker acted and all that. It seems to me like he was probably checked out and just wanted her to be better, and, you know, didn't put forth much effort in helping her get better. I think he went to like one doctor appointment with her or something, and it was telehealth. So yeah, there's that aspect of the whole situation. But people are saying like, oh, he drugged her and pushed her out the window, and he was the one that strangled the kids. And I don't think that's what happened.
So your question was, why is it easier?
Yeah, why is it easier
to blame him?
Yeah.
And I think that brings me back to my other bullet point, which I thought we were going to talk about Casey Anthony also, but I think people want vengeance. Like when something horrible happens, they want punishment. Like at the end of the last episode, I said, punishment generally psychologically doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? It has all kinds of negative side effects, but people want that. Like they want someone punished.
I was going to say what our mother said today, but it's to be off record.
I mean, you can. She doesn't listen to the episode.
Come on, throw her under the bus.
She said, well, she's not following the case.
Right.
So then I feel like she can't really give an opinion, but her opinion was she murdered her kid, so she should be put to death.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's a valid
Mhm.
thing to say. Like, I think that supports what we're saying. Like, some people just want revenge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Vengeance.
I mean, I
Mhm.
think that's what she wanted. Like
That's what I
tried to
told
kill
her.
herself.
Yeah, that's what I told my mom. I'm like, she tried. Like,
Mhm.
I know.
she tried to do that and it didn't work.
I think people see her as a victim as well, like just
Right.
as much a victim of this tragedy. Whereas Casey Anthony, if we're ready to,
We're ready to talk
Yeah.
about Casey Anthony.
I think people saw her as she just didn't want to be a mom.
Yeah.
And she wanted a new life and like move on and party, right? Like she didn't report her daughter missing. She was at nightclubs, whereas Lindsay Clancy was like begging for help. So I think that's where people see it differently. And, like, people empathize with
Yeah.
Lindsay Clancy because they're like, she loved her kids. It was very clear
Mhm.
she wanted to be a mom and she was struggling and asking for help, and then tried to kill herself as well.
Yeah.
Thought that it was very logical. It seems like she was in a state of mind where that made perfect sense to her,
Right.
which is scary. Yeah, it is very scary that that could happen.
I'm glad you were here to cover that, because I would have had to listen to the voice message again. Like, you and I talked about that over the 2 weeks since the last episode, and I would have got that all wrong. So I'm glad you were here to.
You often misquote me. I don't mean it
On
as
here,
criticism.
she said on here. I often misquote you on
When I
here.
listen back, I'm like, that wasn't quite right.
But okay.
We're going to have to phone her in.
All my exes say that. Like, my last ex said the same thing, that I misquote her.
Well,
Damn.
I mean,
I'm just going to write the shit down from now on.
I thought you did, though. That's why it's confusing. You're like, hold on, I'm writing this down. And then
I do,
read it
but
and it's-
I interpret it in a different way. I guess it comes through my perception, right? Okay. My apologies.
Or you're not like quoting it directly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're paraphrasing.
Yeah. And I
Summarizing.
paraphrase it through my perception. So I misquote you a lot. So yeah, we'll have to phone you every time I'm quoting you. We'll get verification.
Yep.
Okay.
There's something else I was going to say about Casey Anthony. Her whole alibi was that she said Haley drowned in the pool and that her and her dad were trying to cover it up or something, like that she drowned, so then just made her disappear instead. It was like a weird ass
the story kept changing.
Yeah, the story kept changing. It was never like.
But could that not be true? Like, I feel like that could be true.
That's what happened.
She's young. She thinks she's going to get blamed for her daughter's death, so she covers it up. I'm not saying it.
That's why she didn't go to prison.
I think it's believable.
They instilled reasonable doubt. The prosecutors were saying she killed her kid, and the defense was saying, no, it was an accident. She drowned. And then, yeah, she bugged up. She tried to cover it up.
Oh.
So
she might have murdered her kid.
She might
or
have.
It might have been an accident, and we don't know.
Again, I think it was her behavior afterwards, because she didn't report. Once she reported her daughter missing, it was like the mom was like, where is she?
Right.
And then they reported her missing, and it had been days.
Yes.
Right.
And
where was the body?
She told they found it.
They hid it
in the side of the road.
Later.
In her blanket. Yeah, like later.
Oh,
it was horrifying.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And she told the police, like, no, I dropped her off at her nanny's house.
Yeah, she like tried to
pick her up,
blame it on a nanny.
And she said the name, I still remember the nanny's name. She said is Zanny the nanny. And one of her friends was like, we said Zanny the nanny because she would give her Xanax to go to sleep so we could party. One of like
I forgot that part.
Yeah,
the kid.
Yeah. So then the working theory was that she wanted to go out. She overdrugged her daughter by accident and then hid it. But despite all that, the whole point was while her daughter was missing, which she obviously knew she was gone, she's at clubs. Like, she's having the time of her life.
She was
like
partying.
She's like a single young woman again, or not single. Like she's not a mom.
Was there a dad?
I
don't remember.
Not in the
picture. I think
picture.
they weren't together
Yeah.
from like before she gave birth or something like that. I don't remember that detail, but it was like she was enjoying. She was enjoying her like new life, and I think that's what really, or at least definitely personally, gave me the ick of like,
yeah,
this was a weird reaction.
Yeah, right. So then she just got let free. She was let go because it was not clear whether she murdered the little girl or not.
Reasonable doubt.
There was reasonable doubt.
Okay.
And then in this case, they're saying like she definitely did it, but she was not of sound mind.
Right.
Which I haven't heard most people say otherwise. I think the general population would. Some people say she didn't even do it, but I don't think anybody's like. I don't think a lot of people think that she premeditated and just pretended to take her life.
Yeah, other than the prosecution.
Right. Freaking prosecution.
I mean, my argument last episode was that if someone murders their kid, there's something wrong. And I would say that would still be true of Casey Anthony. Like, I know that's not going to be a popular opinion, but I would still say if she did it, if she purposely murdered her kid, there was something wrong. And even if it was accidental, there's still something wrong.
Yeah, there's like a certain amount of reasons why people commit filicide when it's your kid. And there's 5 distinct psychological and situational categories. It was Dr. Resnick was the forensic psychiatrist who gave these reasons. The first one was altruistic filicide, where the parent has a distorted perception of love or protection that often is in tandem with parental suicidal ideation, where a depressed parent believes the world is too cruel to leave the child behind. It also occurs if a parent believes they are relieving a child from real or imagined suffering. So that's one of the categories Lindsay Clancy would fall into. And then the other one's acutely psychotic filicide. The parent takes the child's life while experiencing a severe acute state of psychosis, severe postpartum depression, command hallucination. In these cases, there's no rational motive and the parent's completely detached from reality, which is also what they're saying about Lindsay Clancy. And then there's fatal maltreatment, accidental filicide, like the shaken baby syndrome and or child abuse, or Munchausen syndrome too, when you like make your kid sick.
Right.
Munchausen by proxy.
It's not called that anymore in the DSM-5. It's called something else. It's called factitious disorder upon another, imposed upon another. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the clarification.
Well, everybody still calls it Munchausen. Even when I teach it, I'm like, this is what's called Munchausen and Munchausen by proxy.
And then there's unwanted child filicide, which is what people think Casey Anthony possibly got away with. The child is viewed by the parent as a hindrance or a burden. This can be driven by a lack of financial resources, socioeconomic stress, situations where a parent believes the death will benefit themselves, like not the child. Okay. And then spousal revenge filicide. The parent kills the child deliberately to inflict severe emotional trauma and suffering onto their spouse or domestic partner.
That's horrible.
Often triggered by infidelity, abandonment, or separation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ever going to talk about anything happier?
I was just thinking that.
We spent like hours talking about killing children.
Yeah. I know, but I had a lot of people...
a really pregnant person in the middle.
Sorry.
Right.
I had a lot of people reach out saying we didn't go into it enough.
We didn't go into it enough?
I mean, it was like...
I've had people ask me a lot about it because they're like, you're in the field, you work in the field. Like, what is your take on this?
Right.
So I think it's in people's minds a lot.
Yeah.
I guess
And-
question.
Like that novel I'm reading that we were all discussing earlier, she has a lot of peripartum depression, in my opinion, in the novel. Like as I'm reading it, I'm like, man, this is like she doesn't feel attached to her kid. Like she does the author, who I don't know if the author has kids or not, right? But it's a female author, does a really good job of like, I think, demonstrating like the non-attachment, like how her kid cries and she has to fake like she cares because she doesn't care. Like, I think it's a real issue that maybe we didn't go into it enough. I feel like we just keep talking about killing kids.
Can I just say something to that point of attachment? It's still within normal, healthy limits for a mother to not feel attached to her newborn in the first few weeks.
Right.
And I have to tell that to clients a lot because they feel like something's wrong with them. Because on TV, we often see like the minute they're born, the like rush of hormones and like, I'm obsessed with my baby. And then a lot of women don't experience that and then they come to therapy and they're like, I'm horrible. What's wrong with me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love this being. I want to take care of it, but I don't feel like it's my
Yes.
baby. So I think it's important to let people
Yeah.
know, like, that's.
She does a good
it
job
can
of that
come
in
later.
the novel also, where she's like, do you guys really think this is my baby? Like, I don't feel like this is my baby. Like, she's asking herself that, and she even says it to her mom at some point.
How old is her baby? I mean, I
Like,
know we're
that's
talking about
after
a
it was
novel.
born. Like, it was right after it was born, shortly. But the baby now is older, and she still doesn't feel the attachment as much. Like, I'm pretty sure she's demonstrating or narrating peripartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
Fathers typically take up to a year to bond with their baby, and it's still considered normal because it's when the baby starts interacting with them. Like, they didn't have the experience of pulling the kicks the way that the mother did. So they don't feel as emotionally bonded. And in the beginning, it's just a person draining resources.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still within the normal limit for fathers to take longer.
Yeah. When I had my third, Blake, it was probably like 2 weeks after I had him. I had a thought that crossed my mind, but I had to say it out loud because I was like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. I told my husband, if I had to sacrifice one of my children, I would sacrifice Blake because I don't really know him and I'm more attached to the girls. And he literally looked at me and was like, can you call your doctor? And I was like, yeah, I probably should. But I had postpartum anxiety. And that was
Did you
like
know that's what it was, right? Like, when did you learn about the term postpartum anxiety?
At that point, I kind of like freaked myself out with the thought and I didn't label it like, oh, I have postpartum anxiety. I was just like, oh my God, that's like a crazy thought. Why would I think about sacrificing my baby? It wasn't until he was like probably 6 months old and I was like rocking him to bed one night and I just like wouldn't stop crying. And like I felt so anxious. I felt like I was having a panic attack. And he was already 6 months old. And that's when I was like, maybe I have postpartum anxiety. And then that's when I started looking into it. But
because as a therapist, we didn't learn about that in grad school.
No way.
For sure.
No way.
So I didn't even know that was a thing until after I started specializing in like perinatal.
Sabrina and I went to grad school together. I don't think there was one class that we spent any time talking about postpartum depression.
No. And that's even what they're arguing in the case is that postpartum depression isn't in the DSM. Like, so it must not exist. Yeah, that is a specifier.
It's a specifier.
Yeah, it's not a separate diagnosis.
But it's not a separate diagnosis. It doesn't exist. So like when these people are being like questioned and they testify, for the prosecution side that you can see very clearly, they're like, I can't answer that as a psychologist or as a psychiatrist because,
we use the DSM.
We use the DSM and that doesn't exist.
Which, by the way, is only for insurance purposes.
Right.
And that's another thing they said, like, is this an accurate book? Or I was asking about the validity of the DSM. And that bothered me because I think any therapist knows, like, there are a lot of problems with the DSM.
Right.
Yeah. And it was shocking to me that he sort of made it sound like, no, this is
Bible. Like this is the Bible.
Like this is our manual and this is Bible.
It is our manual.
It is taught that way.
It is the best we have currently, right? Like it's a work in progress, I think. Like they keep updating it every 5-10 years. But it is, like it is the best
problems.
We have.
We all know it has problems.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's a specifier. It's a specifier with depression, with bipolar, and
they're trying to
like
right. It's depression. Like depression is the diagnosis, and peripartum is the specifier. But I don't think it's still peripartum depression.
But that's the problem, is that people in the field recognize these issues as real and separate. Like a Postpartum Support International is like one of the major organizations. They train clinicians to like acknowledge postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum OCD, postpartum psychosis as separate things. But you can't bill that way. So it really is just an insurance billing issue because they're recognized things in the international postpartum community.
Another big point in the trial is that they're saying that according to the DSM, postpartum can only be up to 4 weeks after the baby is born. And then that's like
so like
laughable.
Yeah.
So
well, first
wrong.
of all, physiologically, the postpartum period is 7 years. Physiologically, it takes at least a year for your organs to go back to where they were. So to say like postpartum depression is only actually onset can be in the following years.
Right.
A lot of people think they have postpartum depression and they go, well, my baby's like 8 months old, so it can't be. And you're like, no, it very much can be. That's actually exactly what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
But it is separate from baby blues, which I had talked to you about, that you mentioned last episode.
Right. You had corrected what I had said about baby blues, but where I was getting my information was the psychopathology textbook that I teach. The baby blues weren't as limited to the time frame you had said in your voice message.
Baby blues
in that textbook
is basically what almost every woman experiences about 2 days after giving birth, where their hormones like suddenly have the biggest drop they've ever had. And you feel symptoms similar to depression. But they usually last like 24 to 48 hours. It's physiologically like a natural thing. And a lot of people confuse that with postpartum.
In the textbook, it doesn't give the like couple day limit. It's like because of the stressors. Like there's obvious causes for this, and it clears up much quicker than peripartum depression would. How are you feeling about all this, Liz? Like since you're the pregnant one.
Well, with my daughter, and I think I talked about this a little bit last week too. I absolutely had postpartum depression. Like I had the baby blues like immediate, like at 2 days. Like I remember they like wheeled me out of the hospital and I was crying hysterically. And I remember like looking at my husband being like, I don't know why I'm crying, but I'm just crying. And everyone, I absolutely had postpartum depression really badly with my daughter. And then she got sick, so that didn't help very much, like at 2 weeks old. So that didn't help me. But I think this time, being pregnant the third time around, I think it's really different for me because I know I need to be on an SSRI once I give birth. Like I know I need to be in therapy probably leading up to after like giving birth. But like I'm also a therapist who has a sister who's a therapist who has like all these things that I know people don't have.
So what you're saying is this podcast should be required listening for all pregnant people.
Probably. I think this time it's not like, oh, I'm going to wait till maybe I feel like, no, like I met with my psychiatrist early on in my pregnancy. I was like, what's my plan? Like, what am I going to do? He's like, when you give birth, you're going to take an SSRI because I know I'm at such a high risk for postpartum depression because I've had it with my 2 other kids.
It's already generally high. It's 1 in 5 women experience perinatal mood disorder.
So you're prepared this time.
Yeah. And I think I definitely feel a lot more prepared than I ever have.
This is the longest shrink wrap ever.
Yeah, I know.
Are we ready?
I know.
I feel like we've had the whole episode.
This is going to be so random. Okay. So I wrote out like a topic.
Okay.
So my professional topic, like the way I wrote it down for consumption purposes, is the cross section between fighting or arguing and codependency and using humor to get over it.
What's the question?
It's going to be a discussion. Okay. Ready? So I'm going to start this off with a little story. Okay.
I can't. I'm not going to do it.
If we have any listeners left at all after how like 40 minutes of doom and gloom, okay? And now it's like, how do you use humor?
Okay, ready? Over the weekend, Sienna had a couple of friends over.
Maybe for the listener, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We should let people know a little bit about Sienna, like how old she is.
And... we should probably let them know a little bit about Sabrina too.
Holy shit.
How old I am?
How old Sabrina is? We're like 45 minutes in.
I kind of realized halfway in that we were like, oh, we have Sabrina here. And if you don't know who she is, then you're not a super fan.
We mentioned she's a fan.
She
listens.
I went to grad school with you.
I did.
That was mentioned.
I mentioned she was a therapist.
She's a therapist. She said she specialized in peripartum.
You have to be really listening to the episode to really catch
I feel like we dropped hints that she gives me feedback about the episodes pretty regularly, right? Like,
I was like, where's that going?
Sabrina and I own a practice together.
Yes,
Oh, that's new information.
That's new information.
That's important. They're business partners.
Right.
Right.
They also dated.
Briefly.
A long
Briefly.
Briefly. Like a decade. On and off. Mostly off. Thanks to you.
They're best friends.
Should we just fight? Should we just fight
the episode
on the air?
That's how it's getting lighter. Talking about our history.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good segue.
Mel looked so excited.
Mel was like, great idea, Sabrina.
Oh, horrible idea.
Okay.
I think we covered it.
I
think we covered it.
We
sure
did.
I'm glad you said best friends because I do consider Sabrina like
I know you'd say that all the time.
Probably my best friend.
You say
like I talk to you
here in front of you.
No, he has said it in
them. Like if I'm going through something, you're the person I talk to. Yeah.
But you have to really pull it out of him because he's
I don't talk to people.
Fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, really.
Right, because I'm a man and I don't talk about my problems. All right, I'm sorry. Fighting and joking.
Here we go.
That's what I took from that, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay. So.
Oh, sorry. Sienna, who's your oldest daughter, and she's
13. She's 13 now.
Okay.
She's 13. And so she had a friend over, a girl, and then she also had a boy that's a friend over. I didn't tell Joe that Sienna was having a couple friends over.
Okay.
So Joe was in the other room and he heard a boy's voice. So he starts texting me. Okay.
Does Joe know we're talking about this today?
No, I didn't tell him, but whatever. It'll be fine. So he starts texting me. And I'm just going to read a couple of the messages to you all. Okay.
Aren't you writing a relationships book?
This is going to be a part of it.
It's part of it, and it's going to be a whole chapter. Okay.
I just think it's interesting that someone writing a relationships book is like, I didn't tell him a boy came over. I'm not going to tell him. We're talking about this on the podcast. But okay. All right.
Okay. Anyways,
therapists are people too.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that, Liz. Okay. So the text message starts with Joe saying,
"Are you in the same house?"
Yes. He was
he's texting you.
Yeah, he was in the bedroom. He hears
their MO.
A boy voice.
It's a big house, everyone.
I was sitting in
so long.
Actually, I have no idea. I've never been there, but I'm just going to assume it's a really big house because rather than coming and talking to my partner, I will text them.
Well, okay, but I think he was also afraid to come out and figure. Sense. Okay, just listen. Okay. Listen to the story.
I'm sorry.
It's going to get better.
Okay, yeah, it's going to get so good. So he texts, right, saying, "What is going on?" Okay, ready? I'm telling you right now, do not for a second think you're going to go eat and leave me alone here.
She was going out to dinner with her friends.
I was going out to dinner. And so now he's hearing that there's like a boy inside the house and like another girl. So I go, LOL.
That fixes everything.
Yeah. I'm going to drop them off at Pembroke Gardens at 7. He says, I better not see them in Sienna's room. I said, he's sitting with me in the family room. He goes, you seriously need to tighten up with Sienna? Dead serious. I go, what do you mean? He says, you're giving her too much freedom with boys. I think it's healthy. She isn't doing anything wrong. And he's a very nice boy. I like his parents. Okay. The messages go on a little further. So, but I'm like feeling annoyed and I'm like mad at him because I feel like he's judging my parenting, right? And he's also using like fighting words. Like, you seriously need to tighten up with Sienna. Dead serious. And
tighten up with Sienna.
Yeah. So I'm like here, feeling a certain type of way. Okay, whatever. The messages continue. I end up dropping off the kids wherever they had to go. Okay, it's the whole thing. So then a couple days later, I'm still like annoyed with this fight. And I think to myself.
A couple days later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I think to myself, wait, I've heard of people on Instagram and stuff making text messages into songs. And I'm like, I think I could get out of this like argument if I make it into a song.
Okay.
So I make it into a song.
That is one of my, like, I've discovered this
I know.
comments section. I've sent them to you. You don't respond to anything I send you on Instagram ever.
Sorry.
You respond. I respond to everything you send to me,
Because
Sabrina.
I don't think everything needs a response.
Like, I at least put.
I'm just like, okay, saw it. Like,
Saw it.
Okay, but one
with a thumbs
should
up.
I thumbs up?
Oh
No,
no,
he hates that.
thumbs up.
He hates that.
Like, it
Okay.
says that I've seen it, right? Doesn't it say something?
I don't ever know because you send me something and that's all I've ever seen. I see the next thing you send me. But one of the things I sent you was like singing comment sections, right? Like on these horrible videos, like a cover up tattoo or whatever. You might have sent me that.
One, yeah.
You sent me that one, right? And now I follow that guy. Like that guy's hilarious. Like I sent you the cat. I sent you the dog.
Okay.
It was
Like
great.
I stopped sending them to you.
Okay. So are you guys ready for the song?
Sure.
Because I'm going to play a part of it for the listeners.
I'm
So this
excited
is
about
your-
this. You created like the AI version of your chats. in
Of our
music
text
form.
messages.
Your text messages. Yes.
Are you ready?
Please.
I am.
You're not ready. All right.
No, I
Fine.
am.
What the hell is going on? I'm telling you right now. Don't for a second think you're gonna go eat and leave me with the girls somehow. And I better not see them up in Sienna's room. You seriously need to tighten up with Sienna. I'm dead serious with you. What do you mean? I think it's healthy. She isn't doing anything wrong. He's a very nice boy and I like his parents. So tell me what could go wrong. Yeah, okay. Till he whips out his dick.
Wait a minute.
Was that part of the text? Classic Joe. I'm kidding. I don't know.
That was classic Joe. Yeah, that was part of the text messages.
Okay.
So
You're gonna bleep that out.
I'll bleep out the
No.
dick part, maybe.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's necessary.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Context.
I have not stopped laughing
Mhm.
about these messages in a song. So then I send it to him. He was cracking up. Like now we keep joking about like tighten up with Sienna, and I'm gonna tighten up with Sienna. We keep singing about tighten up with Sienna. That's amazing.
In like a reggae voice. That's like reggae.
Yes, it was reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been better as a duet, right?
No, I
like a male and a female voice, though.
no, because then it brings you back to the argument. Whereas
Mhm.
now it's like
Now it's just lyrics
Yeah.
and
just funny.
it was so good. Yeah. Yep. So then I was like, wow, this really like solved our fight. And so then the next
hack.
day, new hack. So then the next day, Liz calls me and she's crying. Okay. She's in
Okay.
the car. We're driving to school. It's 7 a.m. And she's like, oh my God, Eddie used my car over the weekend and he left my car at 35 miles to empty. And now I have to drive the kids to school.
It's empty.
That's my
Are you having
standard.
some anxiety or what? Like,
Yes.
Well, that's what my car said. It's at 35.
35 miles is
a lot.
Like,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
that's a lot. You can get to a gas station pretty easily.
Well, I didn't know, but I couldn't get to school. Like,
What? You're not 35 miles away from school.
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I had to put gas before going to school and work. And
And she
that I was upset because he likes to send me reels or funny. This is part of the thing. Like, haha, when your gas fairy husband leaves gas in your car. And I'm like, you don't do that. You leave my car on empty. And then like maybe you did that once. So I was really mad at him.
she was really mad at him, like so mad. And I go, wait. Oh, and she started fighting with Eddie. Like they were fighting. She's like, how dare you? Whatever. Like it was a fight.
Yeah, I was
So
really
I was
mad.
like, wait, Liz, I could get you out of this fight. All you have to do is make it into a song. And she's like, what? So
I could get you out of this. I love that.
So I made it into a song, and I'm just going to play a little clip for you so that, our listeners get an idea, right, of what I'm talking about.
This one is so good.
Okay, stand by.
He calls himself the husband gas fairy. Says he keeps that tank on full. But 35 miles left this morning. Sir, who Who exactly are you trying to fool? 2 kids to drop off. It's 7 a.m. 8 months pregnant and the rage kicks in. Eddie says it was an honest mistake. Oh baby, wrong thing to say. That's a lie. Gas everywhere. 35 miles, 34 miles. Don't speak to her. Nobody speak to her. Husband, gas ferry. That's a lie. Left the car on empty on the school drop drive. 8 months pregnant, rages running high. Eddie, she loves you, but she might rip your head off tonight.
There you go. And so she sends it to Eddie, and he responds with apology accepted.
He said this was really funny. I accept this as a form of an apology.
I'm thinking this could really backfire. Like, if I'm really upset about something, I think these are really good examples of when to know when to send that. But if I'm upset about something and my husband makes a joke, that makes me really upset. Like, you're not taking this serious.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue into now the topic, the question. Here is how much of this has to do with my codependency?
And mine also, yeah.
On how badly I can't stand to be fighting with my partner or
Anyone.
but mostly my partner, that I have to use humor to try to get out of it quickly. And so
That's where we're gonna.
So that's where we're at. Like
Okay.
discussing, can we use humor always? Which, obviously the answer is
I
no.
mean,
But
Well, Gottman says humor is a great intervention, especially for stupid. Like Gottman says, a lot of fights aren't ever going to be resolved,
right.
Like we have different opinions about this, and that's just how it is. And humor is a good way to deal with that. So I think, like Sabrina said, in the right circumstances, I feel like it can be great. Like this is a great repair attempt, right? He calls them repair attempts.
Yes.
Like I feel like this is an outstanding repair attempt at times. But I don't, like, your question is this codependency? And I don't know. Like my whole thing about codependency, I have that as one of my topics. I don't know if we're gonna dive into codependency fully today. I don't know, but
It could probably bleed into next week's shrink wrap.
right.
But is it only in arguments with your husband? Or do you use humor like when you're just uncomfortable or sad, like at a funeral?
Yeah, she does. She avoids.
I don't use humor in a funeral.
Avoidance, deflection.
Yeah.
Deflection.
Oh,
So then
always.
it has nothing to do. Or it's just part of it. It's not relationship
Specific.
Based.
right.
I feel like it shows up a lot. If Joe is upset, I try to figure out how to get out of him being upset. Usually I use humor, but sometimes it doesn't work because he's still upset about something.
I've had a lot of problems in my career defining codependency. Like sometimes it's very obvious, right? Like people are like, whoa, you're very codependent, right? But there's other times where it's like, when people are like, that's codependent, I'm like, isn't it just love? Like, can't I just care how my partner feels and how our relationship is? Like, does that have to be codependency?
I wouldn't define that as codependent. I would define that as trying to break the tension. Maybe not people pleasing, but just trying to
break the ice.
Yeah, just trying to make everybody be comfortable.
I have a quote from Esther Perel from her, because I planned on talking about codependency at some point, but I didn't. I was just putting bullet points, and the one bullet point I have is she was defining not codependency, but more how a person should be in a relationship as the ability to hold on to yourself while connecting with another. Like you're still yourself while connecting with another. Like you're not giving up yourself to connect.
Well, with that definition, that
you're not codependent.
I'm not codependent.
Right.
But are you trying to use humor to move on? Or like, are you trying to pretend it never happened? Or are you...
No, I mean, I feel like it's good for like dumb arguments.
Yeah, like you're acknowledging his concern, but you disagree. So you're just like, this is ridiculous. Here,
Yeah.
so does.
I mean, this argument was like perfect because we all know I probably should tighten up with Sienna.
Do we all know that?
I knew that.
I don't know. I
mean, I feel like it's a common consensus that I'm probably too lenient with her.
Is it? When we
maybe
did
you just
when we
have a
did
different
the
approach than Joe does, and maybe that's the balance.
Right.
well, when we did the episode, Sienna's biggest complaint was you don't let her do anything because you're
That's
afraid
just a
she's gonna
lie.
get kidnapped and raped, sex trafficked. Wasn't that it?
I mean, it's clearly Joe's concern
That's
too.
a millennial parent
Concern.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know how that means you need to tighten up with her. Like I don't have the impression, not that I'm ever around you and Sienna, but I don't like from what Sienna has said in the survey, why do people think you need to tighten up with her?
But I think it probably has to do with my personality too. I'm pretty chill. Like it takes a lot to rattle me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of things are that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Which would probably upset somebody who maybe is like a little more uptight about
Rigid.
certain things.
But I think
Rigid.
you're describing like a typical mother, like you growing up as a female don't see the harm in letting a boy hang out, whereas Joe growing up as a male has a different opinion. I think that's a very classic argument, and maybe less about rigidity and more about like perspectives of intentions or
Right. I agree for that, right? But I didn't see any need to tighten up there. Like the kid is in a different room waiting for them to get ready. Like I don't see that as they're not in the room with the door closed.
No.
You
He's
know
a very
I mean?
nice boy.
He's such a nice boy.
Nice boy.
Okay. But so I don't know how that would be indicative of needing to tighten up. I think like the culture down here is very helicopter mom-ish.
chaperones, Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
Chaperones.
Right. So I feel like I'm not from that culture and my kids listen to this, so we'll see. But I think I was a pretty chill dad, like as far as letting them do things and giving them freedoms, right? Like I didn't worry they're going to get kidnapped and sex trafficked or anything. Like I didn't have those concerns, but I don't know. I don't see you needing to tighten up, but you're like, I feel like we have three topics, like your parenting, right? Codependency and humor. Right.
Humor is the main topic, right?
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I think humor's great. Like people complain about their Instagram algorithms and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Me
Like
too. Same.
mine is
Happy.
just memes. Like I literally put up a meme yesterday that said, what do you bring to the table? Mental health issues and memes. Like that's what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like my whole algorithm is memes.
Yeah.
Like I just sit there cracking up. Like yesterday I told you, and when I was
Yeah.
sending you videos, I was like, I'm almost crying, laughing so hard
That
at
was
these.
so
Do you
funny.
guys send memes to clients?
Yes, one client in particular.
No.
I have
No.
some of my clients
Yeah,
send me
my
memes constantly, and then rarely, every now and then, I'll send a meme, and then later I'm like, did they think I was making fun of their
Issue?
Because
I've done that. I've done that, but
I'm like,
I don't know that it's like a meme. Like it's not hilarious, but I will send things like most of the things I worry about never happen. See,
Right.
worrying works. Like it's funny, but
Yeah.
it also makes the point that, you don't need to worry, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I've done that. Like if they send me things, I'll send them things. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think it depends on the client,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of clients that I've had for years, and I think it's part of our rapport and the human side of therapists. Obviously, I think we have to be careful for the record.
I think therapists need to use humor more. Like
Yeah.
But I use it a lot. Yeah.
Right. I use it a lot, I think. And one of the seminars I went to a long time ago was like therapy is portrayed so serious and so like yo, like, let's lighten it up a little bit. Sometimes.
Right.
Like, some of this
yeah.
is funny.
I agree with that because I think, remember what you said like a few episodes ago that someone was like, oh, therapists are ruining families or something.
Oh, yeah, I brought that up.
To that effect. Not that I think therapists are ruining families, but I do think some therapists, it's a little too serious. Like, I think, like, yes, somebody can bring, not to say that any problems a family member or a spouse or whatever brings into therapy should be dismissed. But something you said even earlier today that I think you said Gottman says is like not all problems are going to be resolved.
The majority, Gottman says,
and I
are
think
not resolved.
People don't understand that. And like, even like myself, I feel like recently, all this humor, I think I've been like, oh my God, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. I can like let it go and I don't need a resolution or I don't need somebody to say something that's going to soothe me. It's okay.
So make it into a song.
Okay, but
right.
Okay. I'm curious why Eddie accepted that as your apology when he left the gas tank.
Well, because
a pregnant wife.
I was really upset.
I mean, I do think your anxiety got the better.
What do you mean your apology?
Right.
That's where humor can be. Like, I can do it, but I don't want.
He said,
honestly, I would feel the same way. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? My apology.
Right. Well, he said, I just got upset because like you started yelling at me in the morning and it was an honest mistake. And I was like, okay, it wasn't an honest mistake.
Right.
I literally was like, it was not an honest mistake. On the weekends, my car is more comfortable with the kids. It's easier to drive my car around everywhere. You pulled into the driveway because you didn't feel like stopping with the kids before we got home because we were tired to put gas.
I mean, 30 miles is a lot still.
I don't consider that running out of gas.
Right.
Running out of gas is you have 4 miles to.
Okay,
we live on the edge.
Like, it's me too, but like it's really hot outside. So I was annoyed that I had to stop with the 2 kids.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very pregnant.
Very pregnant. Yeah, I know.
You're taking kids to school. I agree he should have filled the tank.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just
I think
curious where your apology, like how that resolved.
Because I think she like yelled at him. Like she was like yelling and she was like nasty to him.
Okay, but I don't get nasty. I was very upset and I was not nice. I wasn't like, hey, honey, next time, can you make sure you put gas for me? No, I was like, I'm super pregnant. Why wouldn't you put gas in my car? I'm taking the kids to school and now we're going to be late.
See, I think like, let's go back to codependency for a second, right? That's not codependent.
Oh, thank you.
Like if you had done that second statement, I would have been like, you're a little codependent. Like, hey, honey, could you please like if that's always your dealing with conflict.
That's me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Me. But you know what? That's
tiptoeing to me.
Thank you. Okay.
Which is kind of codependent. Like I can't get them mad. I can't.
Okay.
Like I can't get my partner upset with me.
Okay, and I think that's even you've actually taught me this. You have actually in a good way. No, and I like this. I want to stay on this for a second because I think if there's one thing that you've ever taught me that we, from our conversations is that you can't control somebody being upset at you. Like you can't protect someone from being mad at you. And I think that's something I truly did not understand my entire life. I thought like, oh no, I don't want them to be mad at me. And it was so consumed. And I did not understand, like, somebody can have a reaction and not be like, oh, honey, it's okay. Or, mom, sorry. Like, it's not that you have to be disrespectful, but
that's me.
They should feel allowed to be.
To have a reaction. Yeah. Right. And I think sometimes
she keeps saying, I know I'm not to interrupt anybody, but she keeps saying, that's me.
That's my problem.
That's me. And we're not addressing that. Like,
address the fact that I'm codependent. Hi, my name's Melissa, and I'm codependent.
I don't know if you are.
I still don't know that that's a good example of codependent.
I mean, I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I feel like a fear of conflict can be an indicator of codependency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that seems to be, you seem to have a fear of not a fear of conflict. How would you describe it, Mel?
I think I have a very negative view of conflict.
Yeah.
Right. And so
In general?
In general.
Like if it was with me.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or what about with her? It's okay with her? With Liz?
We don't fight.
We don't fight. And if we do fight,
But do you not fight because you walk on
No.
eggshells
No.
with
No.
each other?
No, we really don't.
Just because you have shorthand and you get each other.
Yeah.
You're on the same side.
Like
You have literally said things on this podcast where I try to stir it up
And we-
because I'm like, this,
this is it. This
and
is
you
gonna-
guys ignore it. You ignore
But
it.
like it
So
also.
you're saying they're avoiding.
I believe they avoid conflict with each other.
I don't think so.
My sister and I don't fight either.
I don't think so though.
Used-
Do you guys avoid conflict with each
no,
other?
we just typically are on the same side of things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think if someone's having a moment, I think we're both able to recognize that and just give that person like the moment. I think my sister's the only person in this earth that I can, no, like for real, that I can not take personal what she's saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
think
That's
she's
true.
the only person that if
I said something to you the other day.
you did,
Can't remember what it was.
you thought I'd be mad at you.
No,
Oh.
not that I thought that
Oh.
you would be mad at me, but I just kind of like told you like how it was. Like I was like, you're doing XYZ. You probably shouldn't.
Oh yeah, you did, and I did not take offense.
No, she
Like,
didn't.
And I was like, oh, I am doing this. Like, I think she's the only person I can honestly receive things from and not feel attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I relate to that with my sister.
Yeah, like I don't feel like she was trying to hurt me by saying that. And maybe if somebody else would have told me that, for sure.
You
and
would
now
have
that
taken offense.
I would have taken offense to it. And I think it's because we're very secure in our relationship with one another.
Mm. That's a
Okay.
good point.
All right. So back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're conflict avoidant everywhere, not just with Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Except me.
Yeah, except with her.
Because what is the worst case scenario? Let's say you're in a conflict
With Barry.
What is your fear that you're not like
Mm.
addressing?
It's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. It has to do with feeling like I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big one.
yes.
Yeah, trouble.
Like I'm in trouble. Like I did something wrong. Like I said something that was wrong and now I'm in trouble. And the way that I would be in trouble would be by someone like not talking to me or ignoring me or giving me like the silent treatment or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want that conflict.
Right. But I think most people don't want to feel like they're in trouble. Like like years and years ago, the associate chair of the department was like, I need to meet with you. And I was like, okay, like I could be there today. And she's like, Friday, which was like 4 days away. And then I'm like, now I got to deal with the anxiety of why I need to come there. Right. And I was in trouble. Like I had done something, I don't know, and I was in trouble. Like nobody likes that feeling, but I don't think people are like that's their whole motivation not to ever have conflict. Like I still have conflict with people, even though I don't like feeling like I'm in trouble. Like you're giving other people a lot of power. Like that's
what I
my
was thinking.
boss, right? I have transference of some type towards my boss. You're psychoanalytic. You love this stuff, right? My boss is like my mom or my dad, right? Like that's transference. So why are you giving that power to everybody?
That was my thought. In the term "in trouble" assumes power differential.
Right. Why does your husband have different power differential than you? Why does Barry on your podcast have power differential on you? I mean, I know I was your professor at one point, so I get it a little bit, but why are you giving all these other
Right. Well, so I think
much
that's
power?
what I'm like trying to fight against.
Could you have conflict with Eddie, Liz's husband? Could you have conflict with Eddie?
When it comes to like Liz and Eddie, because I'm the older sister, I think it makes it like different.
Oh, okay. No transference.
Yeah. Right.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
You're giving anyone your level or older or whatever power.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And I think that
this was a great therapy session.
Right? Yeah. I hope that my self-disclosure can help someone. That's what it is. So lately I've been noticing this without, psychoanalyzing it like we just did now, but I have been noticing that I am avoiding like the conflict and I don't like it. And feeling like it's codependency. So I've been trying to fight against it. And that's where I was like, okay, instead of getting really upset, if somebody else gets upset, maybe I can use humor to keep myself happy or keep myself feeling the way that I originally was and not let somebody else's mood or reaction affect my mood.
I think where I look at people as codependent is their mood is totally reliant upon someone else's mood. I'm like, okay, that's kind of codependent. Like if my partner is in a bad mood, then I'm in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Then I'm sad or I'm upset, you know? So
I also tie that, but like to some sort of destructive behavior or negative behavioral component.
What do you mean?
Like codependency?
Yeah. Like that plus one of you is engaging in some sort of unhealthy behavior and the other person's sort of dragged into that.
Oh, I see.
So like alcohol.
So addiction. I mean, that is where codependency started. Like to my knowledge, codependent, and I could be wrong. I meant to Google it before we ever talked about codependence. But my first understanding of codependence was in relation to being in a relationship with an alcoholic.
Yeah, me too.
Enabling.
And enabling. Yeah.
Right. So there's a destructive behavior, and then my mood is totally dependent upon that person that has some self-destructive behavior.
Preventing the mood, preventing the behavior.
I get that as codependency, but it's so much broader now.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not just using it for people in relationships with addictions or destructive behaviors. I think it's more a reliance. Like when I'm in a relationship, if my partner is unhappy, that certainly affects me. But is my mood totally dependent upon that? No, I can still have a good day even though they're not in a good place, right? I would feel like that would be codependent if I couldn't. Like if my mood is totally based on how they're doing.
Right. And that was kind of the pattern I was starting to see with myself.
Okay.
And I wanted to break away from that pattern.
So you're using humor to do that.
Right. And that's where like this whole topic came up where I was like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And I'm going to say it's a good thing because it makes me feel good.
Right. I mean, if it resolves the issue, I think it brings us back to if it's not a serious issue and it can be resolved through a repair attempt using jargon, then that's fine. But I think like using Liz's case, I might not have been okay with that. Like I might have been like, what do you mean your apology? You know, my apology. Like I'm not apologizing. You owe the apology. You know what I mean? I might have been. I'm not saying like, given the circumstances, I know they're like everybody has a part in any argument.
Right.
And I think when I've had arguments with partners, one of the things I try to do is look at my part, usually after they admit their part, right? I'm better at it when they've admitted their part. I'll admit my part. But
but I think like in both scenarios, the arguments are kind of silly.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, those aren't big arguments.
Also, timing is a huge factor
Right.
as well. Like knowing when to make the joke,
Yeah.
Right.
not just if it's appropriate.
Right. Now this isn't the time for that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that happens a lot in my relationship. And I'm like, read the room, my guy. Like, not in the mood for this right now.
Yeah.
A little self-disclosure.
Yeah. That's true. Okay.
Okay. I guess we'll pick
Are we
up
done with
some of
this?
this. It's been an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, we just keep getting longer and longer.
Wow.
We spent 40 minutes on childhood death. Like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's it. I feel like sometimes we end like so abruptly.
Yes, I will. I agree.
Right?
You agree?
Yeah. Sitting here as a listener, I'm like, was there more that they just cut out?
No.
Like, that's feeling.
literally how it's just it.
I feel like usually we have a pretty good internal clock. We've been going like an hour and 20 minutes I think, or an hour and 10.
We always do like an hour and 15.
And then one of us is like, I think that's a wrap. Like the internal clock. I don't always set the timer. So I think that's how we bring it. But was this an abrupt ending?
I mean, I feel good about it.
You feel good.
Because I kind of ended on, I might be a little codependent, and I'm using.
But I'm funny, so.
I'm using my humor to try to break away from that.
Okay. I mean, as a regular listener, do you feel this was an abrupt ending?
I mean, I feel like it was an hour and a half longer than I expected to be.
She's like, I gotta go.
It's not going to be an hour and a half when we
I'm
air
going.
it.
I'm leaving now.
No, I didn't mean it like that. No. I meant it as a compliment when you guys end abruptly. Like you could go long. Like, I'm not sick of hearing.
Yeah.
You. That's what I meant.
Okay, that's how we're going to take it for sure.
All right. As a compliment.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. That's a wrap on this episode of Therapist Say. I'm your host, Mel.
Liz.
Barry.
Sabrina.
All right, that's it for today's episode of Therapist Say. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you laughed, learned something, or at least realized you're not the only one with issues.
New episodes drop every 2 weeks, so hit follow and don't forget self-care.